Hey everyone, it's me, Tashtari, and this is my internet television program. This has been an exciting setup for a stream. I started off with OBS not working and spent like an hour troubleshooting that and eventually had to roll it back to the previous version. Still don't know what was wrong with it the first time. In addition to that, I found out just like a minute ago that the mouse that I had plugged into my Steam Deck in order to play this was not compatible with it for some reason. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently there are such things as incompatible mice, like incompatible USB mice. Go figure. But here we are, and I think things are working, and we're going to give it the old college try from here on out. Welcome, Shy Guy. Welcome, Reynold. The other interesting part of this was getting my desk set up. I have a very limited amount of desk space, but I have managed to get myself set up for this by putting another keyboard, a third keyboard, underneath my second keyboard, using a stand that I got from IKEA, and so basically, wherever I want to type now, I can do it by contorting my hands into into one of three not particularly ergonomic positions. But that's for me to worry about, not you. And the eternal battle against entropy, mostly fought on tops of desks. That is the truth. The other thing I want to mention, too, before we start, is that this is not a truly blind playthrough of Riven. I have played Riven, the game, before, and I know the puzzles pretty much backward and forward. But I am told that in this remake, they are quite different. There have been actual changes made for... I don't know any details beyond that, but yeah, we're gonna discover this together. Let's go. See, there's our first indication of things to come, or at least I hope it's not. I could hit enter to hit the start button, but I couldn't click it. I hope that is just the game teasing me. That gave me some chills, not gonna lie. Okay. Anything we want to do in options before we start? Nah, we'll just assume that things are all right. And start a new game. Many ages, infinite truths. Old Dunny proverb. Let me know, by the way, if the audio is too low or too high.
Thank God you've returned. I need your help. There's a great deal of history that you should know, but I'm afraid there's no time to explain. Most of what you'll need to know is in here. And for reasons you will discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this. It appears to be a linking book back here to Dunny, but it's actually a one-person prison. It's the only way to capture Gen. Here. Once you've freed Catherine, I'll come with a linking book. She'll know how to signal me. There's a very good chance, if all this goes well, that you'll be returned to the place that you came from. Until we meet again, take care, my friend.
Well, that was interesting. That was mostly the same as the original, which was live action, yeah. Except for, well, he changed one-man prison to one-person prison, which I guess is fair enough. Also, this that lockbox that he just dropped the book that he linked into, it was not in the original. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, let's link to Riven and see what's what. Loading, loading, loading. Whoosh. The motion capture's a little bit awkward. The models are better than they were in the Myst remake, but...
Yo? Realidad. Kakawarem. Mulawipome. Tagema. Rekoa. Tagema. Su rekoa. Isirap. Isirap. Mutika go kuanai. Isirap. Mutika go kuanai. Bukuanai. Isirap. Bukuanai. Bukuan. Bukuanai.
Hey, that's our chapbook. His falling over is better than it was in the original, though, I have to say, where it looked like he was just straight up laying down. But, yeah. Game would be a lot simpler if we could reach that book from here. Cast fetch, if only. Okay, so our journey is off to an inauspicious beginning. Our book has been stolen. The only means of trapping Gen, as we've been told. Right away, what can we see here? This thing was not in the original. I don't know what this is. Oh, okay. This is like some... Hey, Waka. This game looks a lot like that Bionicles game. I'll have to take your word for it, because I have not played such a game. This appears to be some sort of port for observing the starfish, or you sort of stick your head in and look down at it. Although, so is this, I think. So I'm not sure what the second thing is for. Or what this thing is for, to be honest. Whatever that is, it's jammed. And whatever this is, I can't seem to use it. Interesting. So right away there are some differences, which is cool. We don't want this to be exactly the same game, after all. Press tab key to open or close my satchel. They held for more than 30 years, but the corrections I made to Riven have finally failed. The island has resumed the familiar pattern of decay that is the hallmark of my father's work. I must now race to implement this new patch before it is too late. I only hope that my revised theories are sound. I'm gonna skim through this. Ooh. That's neat. Tremors. That wasn't in the original. Do you guys want me to read the book through? I know what's in it, but if you're not familiar with Riven, the lore is interesting. Let me know and I'll read it. I'll have a chance to do it later. Serves him right, I guess, for stealing our book. Press the escape button on the keyboard to open the menu. Okay. Well, first let's look at this room. If we read through the book, we would know that this was Gen, the sort of god figure, as he imagines himself. This is him presiding over the 5 different guilds of. In imitation of the Dunny culture, which he's trying to bring to basically every world that he can find. But he's stuck on Riven now. Press X to take a picture. You can access your photos through the menu. Good to know. Don't think it'll be necessary, but could be wrong. Bowing at books. And again, creating worlds, because he is, as he imagines himself, the god figure. So this room looks more or less as I remember. It's got this big button that we can push. Can't we? Oh, we could push it. Interesting. I guess we can't push it. Also interesting. In the previous game, we could actually climb under this gate, like there was a big open space underneath it. I mean, sorry, in the original of this game. In this game, however, we can just pull the pin out of the hinges, which is preferable, I suppose. And find ourselves this other entrance into the gate room, which are windows now rather than just tiny little peepholes. Still no dice on pushing this button. Maybe this has to be powered somehow. Miss something? Huh. In the original, there was another room here that we passed by on our way to this thing. Some sort of temple. With scary-looking idols being offered bowls of fruit. And a door that we can't open. Well, if I thought this game would be simple, I think I'm wrong. Already they've hidden two things from us. Two ways forward that I know of. Hey, our guy's already gone. That doesn't happen until much later in the game. In the remake. That still don't work. we just straight up jump down to that walkway there? No, of course not. It won't let us. Oh, it does work. This is just... I wasn't close enough to it or something. Okay. Okay, now if we rotate it one more time, we should be able to go through that other entrance and make our way to whatever is behind the doorway at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, something like that. There we go. Steam is currently being uselessly vented out the top. Let's change that. Now it's going somewhere else. Possibly more importantly, we have this lever that we can pull. It opens something. I kind of don't like how I have to get all up in the face of that button in order to push it. That doesn't seem correct. Oh. This takes us straight to one of the rotating domes. How convenient and slightly strange. But there's another lever here that we can pull up. That will unlock another gate, hopefully. But let's see where this leads. Now, interesting. In the original game, one of those would be gold, and you'd be trying to hit this at the time that it turned gold, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. I guess one of them was slightly whiter than the rest, but that just might be because we can see more of the... I am not enough of a mist nerd to remember which symbol this was. I guess I am enough of a mist nerd. Bonk. Okay. I'm gonna take some notes. Circle with a dot in the center is gate room. Now, what has this revealed? This is different. This is extremely different. Where are we? Is this control? Now that I've loaded that ball in whatever this blunderbuss thing is, I can't seem to do anything with it. Huh. change anything down here? Doesn't look like it. It'd be nice if I had a flashlight, but I don't seem to. Okay, I guess we'll learn more about that later. How do I get out of here? Is that a button? No, that's a gear. Okay, it seems to have gotten tired of me waiting. Huh. Okay. Okay, let's rotate this twice more. Okay, and this is where we started, right? Let's rotate it twice more. See if we get somewhere new. Okay. Now we're able to get into the big golden dome, which looks a little different. A book. A book that doesn't work. Interesting. So instead of having 5 books, there's just one, and it's in the middle here. Interesting. Okay. Okay, there's our circle with the dot in the center dome. Off in this direction is an island we can't see with the sort of sideways open eyeball. I think, if memory serves, this is the symbol for the prison island dome. Which explains why we can't see it. Let me draw that real quick. Hey, Starglass here. Can I turn my mic up, please? Yes, I can. Hang on one second. Welcome to the chat, though. Okay, it's as high up as it can be on OBS, so I'll turn the gain up on the audio interface. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. How's this? Thank you for the follow, also. Forgot to say that. So this vertical slit points off in the direction of the crater island. I'll write that down too. I'm really interested to see how this turns out for in terms of warping between islands, because this was the fast travel in the original game, having linking books to the 233rd age off on in each location. Okay, circle with a horizontal slit is, I think, Survey Island. That's what that looks like. And then this will be Jungle Island, I think. Okay. That takes us back to where we started. But there's also this stairway down. Let's see where this leads. To a very hazardous looking mountain path. That was where we were looking down from before. And a door that is shut. Can we open it? Yes. Ah. There we go. There's Gen's projector room. With the ominous cage and all. Lets us look at the bridge. And at the temple, and at possibly the maglev station? Must be. Let's get all up in this throne here. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Ah, and that opens the door in the temple. Ah. Interesting. If I were here in real life, I think that I might be worried about some sort of... Oh, I didn't notice. That brings a bridge up and down. But it was already down to begin with. Which contravenes the Riven principle that all the switches are in the wrong position to begin with. Fascinating. Okay. You'd think that Gen would consider himself too good to traverse a path like this. But maybe not. So, Stargazier, are you a Riven fan? I guess you must be, or else you wouldn't be here. Or is this your first time seeing it? Okay, here's another bridge that's up. Okay. What? Played with your son years ago. That's cool. Have you played the remake before? Yeah, this is all new to me. I've played the original game, but the remake has got some surprises to it so far. Like that bridge collapsing. That was very unexpected. One of the complaints about Myst was that it looked, too clean, too pristine. But, and Riven, the original anyway, made things look a lot dingier, a lot more used. This seems like it's taking it even further. I hope we didn't need that bridge. I like it how it sounds like breathing in there. That's kind of neat in a creepy way. 5 discs on old version. Yeah, I remember I had the 5 CD version as well. Having to change them every time you changed islands was not much fun. But of course, in those days, not everybody had a DVD drive. Anyway, now we've unlocked the temple door. We should be able to take that to somewhere new. Looks like this maglev might still be functional. Here it comes. nice that you can actually look around the inside of this. You couldn't do that in the original. They removed the jump. Lots of rock debris around. And no eyeball. That's interesting. Not here, anyway. Some sort of totem. Maybe I'll take a photo of this. Now, I remember in the original, you had to approach these guys slowly, or else they'd run away. Okay, wait till they've stopped moving. Get a little closer. Carefully. Hey guys, what you doing? The moiety puzzle is going to be different, too. Another one of these totems. And a tree that they've built sort of a viewing platform around. Okay. Communal stove of sorts. I notice I haven't set off the alarms by coming in here. Blue sparklies in the water, that's pretty. We can just get to the school without going in the submersible.
Terekoi Danni, Kibayem Revat, Arroyem Betik Tavom, Gabodona Gayem. Ram.
Well, that's still the same. Now, what's this? Something to take a screenshot of, certainly. So what are these symbols on the right? This I know to be the Dunny numeral 1. This is 5. This is 10. But what are these guys here about? 3. Okay, 1, 3. Six. Is this some form of binary? Up and to the right is 1. Five would... No, it can't be binary of some kind. Because 5 would be 4 and 1. Three and 1. Maybe it's 1, 2, and 3? So 1, 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 is just 3. 3 and 1 is 6. No, that doesn't work. All right, we'll figure this out later. Eight, as expected. One, as expected. Seven, as expected. Six. Oh, I'm sorry, 9. Didn't see that extra line there, as expected. Two, as expected. Seven, as expected. So that's no different. Can't click on whatever this thing is. This still wonders me, though. All right, well, like I said, we'll come back to that. This is some dunny writing with a dunny numeral here for... What is that number? That is 5, 10, 15, 17 plus 20. 17 times 25 plus 20. Times 25 plus 20. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. You won't be surprised to learn. But I'll take a screenshot of that as well. Nothing behind the schoolhouse. What are those balls, I wonder? They must be like traps or something. What's that thing down there? That altar sort of thing. Okay, so we've reached a drawbridge that is closed. That's new. Okay, let's try going up the stairs instead. I can already tell this is going to require more brain cells than I previously had allocated. Wait a sec, that was up the stairs. Oh, no, I'm wrong. That was up the stairs from the other side of where the Sunners were. Durr. If you're new to this channel, I have a terrible sense of direction. And even if you're not new to this channel, I still have a terrible sense of direction. Lots of moths or flies or something. And a minecart ride. How do I get in? This was one of the coolest parts of the original game. I hope that this lives up to it. That was pretty cool. This time we don't get poured into a wood chipper. That's nice. Does nothing. This is a familiar sight. First, let's play with the wood chipper. That's a wise thing to do, isn't it? Unlike the original, this minecart seems like it's actually designed to be ridden on, which is an interesting change. Oh, right. Gotta redirect the steam first. First, let's turn off the gas. The water stopped boiling really quickly. And drain the water. Pull that handle and raise the platform. So this puzzle at least hasn't changed. I think. We'll see if I spoke too soon. Nope, this is much the same as I remember. Must be hideously hot and humid in here, though. Ah, I did speak too soon. Or no, this is the same. It seems like it was a longer run back than in the remake. Unlock our shortcut. Which I think we'll need, actually, because I have to go move the Steam switch again. Come on. This mouse I'm using has a slightly unresponsive button. I may have to find another one before next stream, because I am no longer sure that this is going to be a game that I can complete in one stream. We may yet be surprised, but we'll see. Observing platform for this underground river type of thing. Where does that pipe go, though? Ah, around. Come on. Climb the ladder. Can I not? Do I have to push this button? Now I can, because I've drained the water out. That's interesting. What did I just do that for? Is this the bait for some gigantic frog? Well, let me put it back for the moment, because I don't know quite what I'm doing yet. Ooh, wait, can I put it in here? Yes, I can. What on earth is this? Oh, no, that wasn't what we wanted. Flip switch. You mean this thing? I figured that was what it was gonna do, but I wanted to go with it. I want to see what's up there. Or maybe I'm, oh, there we go. Now, where are we going up to? That's a familiar noise, but it's not coming from a familiar place. So we're polishing these rocks, but for what reason? Interesting. Okay, so if I take this pebble and I put it in here, can I put it in there? No, it doesn't look like it. Can I put it in there? Yes, I can. Okay. Ah. Some kind of geode. That I can take the center out of and put it in here. What purpose does that serve? Oh, I see. So what we're aiming to get out of this is those balls that I saw in the what do you call it? The dome chamber before. Can I see what's on that scrap of paper? I guess I'm not. Push button. Oh, there's a button. Still Still not doing anything, though. It does show us that that whatever these things are, they're magnetic in some way or something like that. It's not letting me take the thing out now, so it must belong here. Change meter set. Oh, I can move this. Setting from 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, 25 as expected. Now, what did that do? What if we put it at... What if we used a mouse that wasn't crappy like this one? Oh. Now it glows for some reason when I put it on 10. But that puts it out. If I put it a little further down. Like 8. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so it's something special about the number 9 here. Interesting. Okay, so we've discovered something about that. The number 9 makes that ball glow. Let's read Gent's journal. Let's see if anything's changed about this. I have been cataloging the material elements of this age for many years now, yet I still continue to find evidence of the number 5. As a boy, it was very clear to me that it held a place of special significance in the Dunny society. From the ancient heraldic emblems of the ruling elite to the humble homes of the commoners, it was ubiquitous. Its presence here is clearly a direct reflection of the minds that authored the texts I used to compose this age, further proof that through their art, the Dunny masters were indeed creating the marvelous worlds they wrote, and not, as many have mistakenly thought, merely forging links to pre-existing worlds. While all of my ages have been based on Dunny designs, I see now that the ones most vested with the power of 5 are also the most beautiful, the most perfect, and undoubtedly the most structurally sound. I still have yet to determine how the Dunny color symbology reflects this superior design principle. While ostensibly a 6-color system, I am convinced that there must be some deeper connection to the number 5. I will continue to investigate. The Itrim traps have been particularly fruitful this year. Apparently, the breakup of the islands has not adversely affected the subterranean ecosystems. Unfortunately, I imagine the rebels are also experiencing a generous harvest, no shortage of poison for their darts this season. Such vexing issues aside, this unexpected windfall has allowed me to refine a particularly pleasant extract for my pipe, one that is smoother than any other in recent memory. I have reluctantly decided to suspend my inquiries into the unusual behavior of the water of this age, as there are more pressing matters that now demand my attention. For future reference, however, my investigations have revealed the following. I believe the remarkable properties of the water to be caused by a microbe, blah, 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 blah. This is the same as in the original. Construction of the imagers has proceeded without fault. Remarkable how easy it was to adapt the Dunny technology to mimic that of the Ahmad. The two cultures must surely have crossed paths at some point in their histories. It may even be that Keta was a direct descendant of the Dunny. How else to explain the redemptive depth of our connection? But that's all pointless now. Maintenance on the steam vent caps completed. I am extremely pleased with the continued success of the system, another example of the superiority of Dunny technology. Ironic that Atris and Catherine's meddling unwittingly provided me with such a convenient source of power. I am certain now that the fissure was an unexpected byproduct of the changes they wrote into this age as part of their machinations to trap me here, and that Atris never intended for the book to be lost among the stars in the process. Better that a linking book be destroyed than to risk it falling into unknown hands. Had they foreseen the creation of the fissure, they surely would have sought there another solution, and as the ensuing cataclysm may well have consumed the entire world had I not managed to intervene. Catherine would never have knowingly taken such a risk. And surely my son, given his own dearth of vertebrae, had only meant for Riven to become my prison and not my tomb. I am discontinuing regular observations of the expanse beneath the fissure. I have tracked the stars and have proven that their paths are cyclical, but without proper instrumentation, there is nothing more I can learn. My theory, however, remains unaltered. The fabric of this age was breached in a way that permits matter to be hospitably exchanged between two discrete yet overlapping spaces. Yet the attendant paradoxes defy the laws of conventional physics. The great column of wind that formed when the rift first appeared suggests a vacuum, as one might expect in space, yet my early experience seemed to confirm the presence of a breathable atmosphere. That Atris momentarily threw himself into the void is further evidence that it might possibly be safe to venture into, but without knowing its true nature, I simply cannot take the risk. It is also difficult to say what would happen were I to reopen the fissure now, but it is highly probable that the results would be disastrous. My hopes have been dashed again. The latest ink formulation has proven to be yet another in a long list of failures. Frustrating to expend so much effort constructing a linking book only to end up destroying it when it refuses to function. Too often has this lab grown uncomfortably warm by the flames of these never-ending disappointments. Without my reference library back in Dunny, a properly orthodox linking book may simply be beyond my means, but I simply cannot burn another book. There must be another way. Pens of Fate. Late last night, while pondering the interminable setbacks, I went to light my pipe. The fire marble got away from me, however, and rolled across the gateway image of the open book before me. If the consequence of this had not been repeatable, I would not have believed my eyes, as the marble left a faint yet definite trail of increased clarity in its wake. The change did not last long, but it was unmistakable. If I could find a way to boost the energy output of my fire marbles, it might be possible to suppress the variance enough to facilitate a stable link. But how? A spatial anomaly occurred yesterday, about 5 spans above the north shore of Temple Island. A breach of stars seemingly identical to the one beneath the fissure. It began as a small cloud-like hole, which then commenced to expand in random surges. With some effort, I was finally able to contain it with runic plates, similar to the ones I devised for the fissure. I believe it will hold, but the appearance of a new rift is troubling. And yet, it has also left me with the most uncanny feeling that something fundamental has shifted in my favor. I believe it may be time to give this inexplicable mystery a second look. I have erected a small dome, a pressurized airlock mounted upon the contained breach. This has allowed me to safely conduct tentative forays into the expanse without subjecting Riven to further invasion and the destruction that would certainly attend it. It is a baffling, improbable space, yet unsurprisingly more accommodating than my initial observations had led me to believe. Breathing is indeed possible within it, yet I cannot say that it is respiration, as I am used to it. Rather, as nonsensical as this is going to sound, it feels at times as if the expanse was breathing me, and in the process imbuing me with a sense of endless possibility. At last, the breakthrough I was hoping for. After my first full day of experiments in the expanse, I was astonished to discover that the fire marbles in my coat pocket had come to fluoresce. A quick strike test confirmed that their energy levels had increased significantly, and their charge had lasted longer than I would have thought possible. In a clear act of divine providence, the expanse has given me the final piece of the puzzle, an apparently boundless energy source that should be more than sufficient to rectify my linking books. But first I must work quickly. 2 more breaches have occurred in the interim, each one more aggressive and difficult to contain than the last. Time, I fear, is running out. The breach is now number 5, a sure sign that I am on the right path. I have connected the domes on each of them via a nexus of pathways within the expanse, which will also serve as an inter-island shortcut as I continue my work on my enhanced fire marble complex. The loss of 2 more men yesterday has made it clear that the full spectrum of energy is too great for even my finest fire marbles to contain, so I've decided to break it up into 5 distinct frequency ranges, which will be later recombined for application to the book. I have installed 5 charging stations within the expanse, each one calibrated to imbue a blank fire marble with a separate band of the total energy needed. A pneumatic tube system will then convey the charged marbles to the great gold dome on Riven for recombination. Freedom is nearly within my grasp. The problem of how to return to Riven has been settled. Reckon has proven his usefulness over the years, at times nearly rivaling my own engineering prowess. He and his team will have the honor of being the first to link to the New Age, bringing with them the necessary materials to build a vastly simplified version of the book apparatus, which I have personally designed. If they do not return within a reasonable amount of time, I will revise my design an additional man until they get it right. Should they founder, however, I am prepared to sacrifice every last man on Riven to continue the effort. This cannot fail. At long last, a viable loop has been established. After an eternity of toil and sacrifice, and an unconscionable preemption of the ages I might have fathered, I have finally linked to a new age. I believe that's the symbol for 233. It is a bleak and barren world, perfectly suited for my purposes. By closely comparing the real with the written, I believe I will soon be able to create a more appropriate age from which to launch my mission. For now, however, I will move my office and living quarters there so that I may safely continue my endeavors without distraction. Although it is but a stepping stone, 233 is an utter triumph. To think that I have accomplished in a matter of years, under extremely adverse conditions, what it took my dunny ancestors centuries to achieve. I caught one of my assistants thumbing through this journal today. He will certainly never do it again, but I'm glad I chose to write this in a language these people cannot decipher. Perhaps it's time I reviewed security measures with each guildmaster. No problems expected from the builders, maintainers, and surveyors, but the bookmakers and educators may need a bit more motivation. More reports of spirit sightings. It seems that under Catherine's leadership, the rebels, or black moiety as the villagers stubbornly insist on referring to them, have attained a new level of sophistication in their terror tactics, renewing their campaign to intimidate the weak-minded into joining them by preying upon their cultural superstitions. I suppose I should be concerned by this, but it strikes me as almost laughable. If the rebels wish to dilute their ranks with dimwits, then who am I to stop them? Chemical analysis of one of the rebel knives has yielded curious results. The metal contains elements that are unlike anything I've encountered on the islands. It appears the rebels have access to a resource that I am unaware of, perhaps a mine or an uncharted island. Most of these knives have been found on the south side of the village, the same region that reports of people mysteriously disappearing have emanated from. I think a closer inspection of the area is warranted. The fact that the rebels deliberately leave these distinctive knives as a sign of their presence is concerning. They're growing bolder, as if they no longer fear discovery of their hideout. Recent measurements indicate that the movement of the islands has slowed dramatically. My previous estimates predicted a total collapse in approximately 3 months, but with the new figures I am no longer certain. I have nearly finished writing the 234th age and have every confidence it will be a safe place to relocate to, but it would still be useful to know what has caused the sudden halt in Riven's breakup. Is it possible that the age is stable after all? If so, I must observe how it differs from 233, which has already shown troubling signs of decay, though further tests are needed. And yet, there is something about this that gives me pause. Could it be that someone is attempting to repair the damage to the Fifth Age at its source? I cannot help but think that the hand of Atris is behind this somehow. And that's it. In the original, this was the location of a code, which doesn't appear to be in this one. So that's kind of disappointing. And there's Gen's gun. Samples of moths. Flowers. Wood. Something. Something. And what's this? Last week, one of my acolytes caught a rebel sniffing around the cemetery totem in the jungle. In keeping with the general ineptitude of my men, the dog was allowed to escape, but at least the fool had the presence of mind to bring me the object in question. It is a primitive eyepiece into which one of the native members has been set. The native numbers has been set. Given the fact that their accursed numeric system requires you to know which way a symbol has been rotated in order to read it, however, there is no way to make sense of it. It is probably an overestimation of the moiety's intelligence to suspect that there may be some greater meaning behind it, but tomorrow I shall send a surveyor out to inspect the other totems, just to be safe. Huh. An eyepiece into which one of the native numbers has been set. And we know that even though they are rotationally symmetrical, they have orientation. That's important. This is bookbinding instrument of some kind. Let's unlock both of these doors. Hey, Bronco. Welcome. We are discovering, or I am discovering anyway, that this game is very different from Riven. It is the same island, the same islands, the same place, but it seems like they've reworked like 90% of the puzzles, which is interesting. I would not have expected that. Yeah, it's fun so far. I am enjoying being able to play Riven in a way that I hadn't before. That is to say, you know, it's almost like the puzzles have been sort of wiped from my memory and I can start again, even though it's technically the same game. Or at least that's the impression that I get so far. Yeah, the geographic locations are largely the same, but also not. Come on. There we go. Now, we already know the semi-puzzle here is just to flip this thing around so that we can get to the other side, but let's explore this side first. Am I seeing that screen tear on my end? Not significantly. Are you seeing it like whenever I move around quickly or something? At the top when I'm spinning there. No, I'm not seeing it. That's interesting. Looking at the capture now. Yeah, I can see it on the up, but don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Let me see if I can turn VSync on or something like that. VSync is already on. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll take a look at it afterwards. Okay, what's this thing here? Well, these are the shapes that I remember from the original, but what is this thing here? Is this just a blatant puzzle to arrange these into a square? sank your battleship. That's how I roll. Oh. That apparently resets it. There's no way that I can get... Is there? My mouse is also a piece of junk. That was something that I had to... that I substituted at the last minute. I'll have to find another one. As a result, I don't always know when I'm clicking. Which kind of sucks. Come on, stupid. Ooh. A pattern. Let me just quick write that down, because I have a feeling. That was a surprisingly blatant puzzle. Like, this is a puzzle, it says. Solve this puzzle. Wark-infested waters. I wonder if they've introduced ways to die in this game other than trapping yourself in the book. Now, what's this? Some sort of a boat with a ladder on it. And a rod with a... Oh, it's a paddle. Duh. Okay. But I can't use it. It's not letting me untie the rope here. Can I untie this one? No. I feel like it's a little unrealistic for me to have just walked across that, given that it's a log. And, you know, there's a work down there. Where's the eyepiece for this, or is there one? Oh, there it is. I walked right past it. I think as in the original game, you just have to push this until it works. There it goes. It's a good thing that our player character isn't that tall, or else this would be a good place to get decapitated. Now, thanks to Gen's journal, we know what this is. This is like a captured starfisher kind of thing. How exactly he's done that, I don't know, but... This feels a little bit Outer Wilds, doesn't it? Now, unlike the... Ooh, wait, is that a button? I wonder if the other one had a button like that I just missed. Of course, while the bridge is oriented towards me now, I still can't get over this segment of it. Oh, there's a wheel. Now what are we looking at here? That's the rock we saw in the cyan logo. Whatever change we make here, it doesn't seem to be permanent. Oh. Oh. Okay, so we can move this needle along different along different vertices. I have the worst luck with controllers, I swear. Okay. No, no, no. Okay, so we've now navigated to the jungle island symbol. But we can't turn it upside down, I don't think. Why won't it let us turn it upside down? That's kind of annoying. Honestly, I can't tell whether this is my mouse or not. I'm gonna go grab another mouse. I will be right back. Hang on 1 second. Let's switch to the technical difficulties stream. screen. Give me 1 second here. You have made tacos. Congratulations. I hope they're delicious. Unplugging my mouse caused my mouse and keyboard to stop working, which is not good. Okay, I think I'm going to have to do some more experimentation in order to figure out how to get this working right, because the mouse has just become intolerable. I literally can't use that wheel without retrying 100 times. Thank you all for joining me. I am going to find you a raid real quick. I don't have one, so I think I'm just going to end here. Anybody have a suggestion for a raid? Well, that's all right. All right, well, anyway, thanks for joining me here. I have several technical difficulties that I'm going to have to work out before next time. But I appreciate you for joining me, and we will have more Riven next time that I stream, which will be at 5 o'clock Mountain Time on someday somewhere. Yeah, no problem. Like I said, I got bad luck when it comes to controllers. But yeah, anywho, thanks for joining.